and thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring my March favorites. If you saw my March favorites, you will know that I talked about applying just SPF products on one side and then foundation on the other side. So I'll show you the difference between the two, kind of what the process is and how we got to this point where they kind of look evened out. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start with the moisturizer. I actually waited on this step because I really have been loving this Chantecaille 24 karat gold firming moisturizer. And this has been my daily. And I did see that they said it's for, I think, normal to dry skin, although I have to say I'm combo and it has been really nice. It's not too heavy, which is what I like about it. And this little redness to my skin, I slept kind of funny. I don't know, I must have had my arm or something under there, but there's a little bit of redness here on my face. I'm also gonna apply a little bit of this, the Lip Potion by Chantecaille. Not too heavy, but it does a really nice job of hydrating. I was trying to figure out how to feature everything from my daily SPF versus when I wear just foundation. So I'm gonna try half and half. I don't know how this is gonna work yet, but we'll see. I'm taking a bit of the Chantecaille mattifying cream. Okay, I thought I'd show you how I use this. I think I did it last month, but I've added another layer. So I'm taking the Clé de Peau Brightening Enhancer Veil. This has a brightening property to it as well as SPF. And you have to make sure to shake this one well. You'll see it does look light on me. So there's that. And I've been using the Even Up as a concealer of sorts. So I'm just taking some here. It's quite thick, and that's why I've been able to use it as a concealer. So it's not perfected really. And then I do make sure to go up here just because my forehead can get some sun on it unintentionally. I've got the Total Eye by Color Science. And I will add this on top as well. Okay, so this side is all protected. And then I take a little bit of the Chantecaille. This is the Camouflage Stylo in 4C. I do take a little bit more SPF. This is, of course, Clé de Peau's SPF concealer in Mocha. Apply it here, 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 here. I do go a little bit out of order on the daily. I know this looks very strange right now, but I take the Color Science blush and I'll add it right here, just for another added layer. And then I just pat that in. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there for now because I wanna show you the other side and then I'm going to finish with powder and then hopefully, I haven't tried this yet, we're hopefully gonna hopefully we'll be able to even this out. Number 1 to Chanel in the shade BD41. Of course, go-to brush. This really does have the prettiest finish on the skin. I'm taking a little bit of the other Chanel foundation. This is the Ultra Le Temps, just in the center. And I put this here because I like how my concealer adheres to this one, just in the center though. Let's take the Clé de Peau. And then today, I have been liking this for more casual, but it doesn't beat my Sisley combination. I still would rate that as my highest, the Sisley concealer and the MER, no, not MER, the La Prairie. So I would still rate the Sisley Under Eye Concealer and the La Prairie as my ultimate favorite, but this is a nice alternative. So we've got here Touche Éclat by YSL, and this is in the shade 3. Okay, so right now you can see the difference between SPF versus no SPF. This is the Guerlain Terracotta Light in 01. I'm going to powder, actually let me conceal that as well. I'm gonna bronze the exterior of my face first. Let me conceal this first actually with that redness. Yeah, this is going to be an experiment for me because I'm not sure actually how this is gonna turn out if we're gonna be able to even it out. Powders are amazing though, so you can see how good that concealer is. It's like it erased this red area. And it didn't take me very long at all to do that. Yeah, that's a really good concealer. Okay, so let me proceed here. Bronzer. So this is how I typically apply the bronzer when I do the SPF, if you're wondering why I'm going in this order. This side might end up looking a little bit more pink, but we'll see. And I do like this brush just for this bronzer. That's the only thing I use it for because it picks up a lot of the product. Oh, by the way, this is SPF 50. That's why I apply this on the, especially the darker areas. And that's what I'll put in my bag just to reapply for it in the sun for a little bit longer than I anticipate. Just quickly going to dust with a little bit of the Rhodial glass powder. Actually, let me do that and then you can see a side by side, kind of, because I don't have the same base on. And this will cool it down a little bit too. This is a Rhodial. Versus something like the, I opened a new one, the Chantecaille Perfect Blur Powder. So there's the difference between the finishes as well, if you're wondering. There's still more of a glow on this side versus here. Okay, I am seeing a little bit of, and that's the only thing I don't like about this blush, is that sometimes it makes the makeup a little bit more translucent. Yes, I am going on top of this powder with a concealer, but they are fine together. I just need a little bit more concealing here because that blush made it a little translucent. So when I want more of a really natural kind of finish, I'll go with the Rhodial powder here, or I'll layer. So the reason I put 2 layers, especially someone asked, if you're dry skin, why do you put 2 layers? It is because I will tend to get more oily as the day goes on, just in the center here though. So that's why I will do kind of a double powdering. So I'm gonna actually add the Perfect Blur over here as well. So I don't know if you're picking it up on the camera, but it's definitely warmer over here and a little bit more pink over here. Yeah, I'll continue working though to get these both balanced. Going in with the next generation eye base on both eyes. It does really help to add the lid back to the next generation eye base just because it gets a little bit dry. Brand new Gucci pencil. Okay, I also went in with Dior Show Pump and Brow. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the bronzer because I feel like that might help us even things out here. But it's starting to look a little bit even. Just, I don't know why. I didn't do anything since the last time I saw you. Let's go in with this palette though. I'm gonna make it a little bit more dramatic today. So we've got the Chantecaille Giraffe palette. I'm gonna take this shade. I've got the Shade and Sweep brush. And this is the one in this color right here. So if you look at it, it's this shade. It's a little bit more warmth. I'm gonna go all over the lid with that. I can't actually remember how I used this the first time because it's so versatile. So I'm gonna try and really make it nice and bold today though. So there's one eye. Yeah, it just enlarges the eye area, I think, when I go in with a deeper shade like this. And I feel like with Chantecaille eyeshadows, from my experience, it's really hard to go overboard. I went in pretty heavy-handed there and it was just fine. I'm gonna take a bit of this color though, the matte color, and just build that. Let me show it to you this way. I'm gonna build that into the crease. Okay, let's take some of that underneath as well. I'm gonna take this shade right under the eye. Yeah, my eye area is quite dry, like dry skin on my eye area, unusual. But I'm just trying to not emphasize that today. Let's go in with this shade, the shimmery shade on the bottom, not the white one, but the other one. I'm just gonna take this right there and apply it. So this has more of a metallic finish, but it's really stunning on the eye. Really quick eye as well. I'm gonna clean this up with concealer. I always add concealer there, so I'll show you what I do. I just go like this. Take my Clay to Peau concealer, add it right in the corner there, and it helps clean everything up. So I'll do that on the other side. Add some eyeliner and mascara. Okay, for eyeliner, I went in with Violet Damask by Chantecaille. I tightlined with it and I did a little wing. And then I went in with Jasper, also by Chantecaille in the waterline. And I added a different mascara. I've been really happy with this. This is the ESUM mascara they recently came out with. I've been testing this pretty regularly during the day. This is a very nice, very nice mascara. No flaking, no smudging, and it does build some nice volume and length really well. So I wanted to show you that one again. I just went, and sometimes I forget to film, but I took a little bit of this shade, the matte shade, and I built a little bit more right here. Just a little bit. Because sometimes I forget to take the color higher, because when my eyes relax, as opposed to something like this, I think you can see it, but I don't walk around like that. I walk around like this, so I do have to remember to bring the color up a little bit further. Then I'm going to take this and just intensify on the outer corner. We're going to take a color from the BYREDO palette. Let's try the white from the Kalahari palette, right in the inner corner. Do you want to see the difference? Let me show you the difference. So this is the white from the Kalahari palette. And this is the white here from the Chantecaille palette. Not as dense, but probably from far away you can't tell. This one has more intermittent shimmer, the Chantecaille, versus the BYREDO. Super easy palette to use. And if you want to intensify even more, I still have to repair the purple shade in this BYREDO palette. So I'm going to take this purpley shade from the BYREDO palette and just intensify the corners. So I've got it here with this ESUM brush. I've been enjoying playing around with these. Some unique shapes here. So you can see how nicely that pats on the color. This is the number W21. Then I'm going to just take that same wing gloss brush here. And then let's take a little bit of this shade again. And I'm going to place that right in between those two shades, this shade and the shimmery shade. Blend. Okay, next up blush, go in with the Peche Cosmique. This one right here. I love this for just softening blushes. You can see it does warm it up nicely as well. Let's see, you'll see probably over here. This is like a no blush blush. So if you just want to bring out bone structure but not add color, this is a great one. So I wanted to use the Chanel blush to help diffuse this blush because it's quite intense. So that's, I think I talked about it in the recent favorites of the year so far of limited edition items, is how this blush, the Chanel blush, helps to diffuse other blushes, because this one has a lot more color to it than I had expected. Than I had expected. So you can see how gently that goes on top of that Chanel blush. Okay, so we're gonna leave it kind of just like a flush of color like that, because if you have this blush, you know that it does go on quite intensely right away. A little bit more Perfect Blur powder. I did want to show you this Candlelight powder, which I've also been enjoying. So we're gonna add a little bit here just to the exterior. So those with dry skin might really like this one, but I try and keep it away from like the center of my face, but it's a really lovely, lovely brush as well. And I can't recall who it was that wanted to use a highlighter, because I tried to go back to the comments. Someone asked about a highlighter you could use all over the face, and I think this might be the closest thing to something with a glow that you could use all over your face. So let me see if I can actually, let's see. Can we see it as a highlighter? It can act as a bit of a very subtle highlighter. So this might be something to consider if you want some all over glow to your face without using an actual highlighter, this Chantecaille Candlelight. Oh yeah, before I forget, because I forgot last time, the Rêve de Camélia. I really like this highlighter. Beautiful. It's one of those limited edition items that is, I think, worth it. Yeah, it's a really beautiful highlighter. Okay, I've got a couple of lip options here. This is the one that I said after I did the Sephora recommendations. I took it out and I have been using this quite frequently. So it's the Oh gosh, it's the one by Westman Atelier, the Squeaky Clean Liquid Lip Balm. But it's not a liquid, I don't know why they say liquid lip balm. It's like a lip gloss. It's like a really emollient lip gloss, not sticky though. So I just wanted you to be able to see what this looks like on. It's a beautiful shade. It just is like a Your Lips But Better kind of gloss. Really been liking this one, so I'm glad I took it out again. Again, this is by Westman Atelier. A little bit of Clé de Peau concealer and powder. So I've been loving this. This is the Chantecaille Lip Veil in Rock Rose. Just add a little bit more concealer here. And here's the final look. As you can see, between the powders and the blush, the lip, and I think the eye also helps. It's a little bit harder to tell the difference between the SPF side and the non-SPF side. So that just illustrates the power of things like bronzer and powder and how much they can do to correct things, because this side was pretty light. It was also more cool toned. I think you can still see a difference in the tone a little bit, but I think you can see you can achieve a very nice finish with just SPF, given that the powders on top of it help to enhance that and also take down a little bit of that white cast, because I definitely have white cast with things like physical sunscreens especially. So I think seeing these side by side is a good comparison of how you can get something with a lot of SPF to look more like makeup that doesn't have SPF, because it's generally not as heavy. Oh yeah, and then almost forgot my fragrance, the Basilico and Fellini. Love this one. What I love about this too is that this is quite a niche brand, and so it's not worn as widely, which I like because it makes it a little bit more special. And let me know if you have any of these products, how you use them. If you have a great suggestion, we'd love to hear it. Please leave it in the comment section below. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other. Stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.